Hello guys, that was fake. It's fake as fake itself. But it's okay. Yeah, because sometimes we just don't feel like it, yeah? It's not like I don't feel like it, it's just that I'm with my friend and she's talking about the Jeffrey Dahmer story, guys. I've just never wanted to see that movie on Netflix. I had the background story, the real life story, and I'm not sure I want to see, but I don't... Welcome to My Life Continues Every Day, the podcast. I am Amanda Elo, and I'll be back very soon. I've got a surprise for you, actually. I told you season 2 would be different from season 1 because you have to wait. I'll be back.
My life.
My life will continue every day.
My life continues every day.
Well, my life continues every day.
We move. My life continues every day with Amanda Elo.
I told you guys that season 2 would be different. I've said this a million times, but I'm saying it again because my life continues every day. Guys, I have someone with me in the house and she has a story to share. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be meeting a lot of live people. I mean, all of the persons sharing their stories. I appreciate you big time. And I still am collecting stories from people who I'm not able to reach physically. But I feel that I'm in an environment where I could talk with so many human beings who I see every day, And these people have got stories. So why wait for them to send it via mail or some other time? Let's have conversations. Apart from conversations, they're going to tell their stories. And I still tell my story, remember? So I decided to go meet my friend because we were, supposed to talk today. And she brought up the issue of rape, helping rape victims. I think she's here. So she would, best explain. She speaks too much English. That's why I don't know how to speak. Oh yeah. How are you doing, baby girl?
I'm fine, thank you.
What happened to your voice? Please cough it all out.
So I'm fine, thank you.
So
thank you for having me.
I really was going to say that first. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I like being here. I like this talk we're about to have. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
Don't make you look like some radio stuff. So the first day she came into my room, she was like, do you have like a podcast or something? And I was telling myself, oh my God, I'm tired of talking about my podcast. Because people ask you, because I have a microphone in my room and they're like, oh, you're a podcaster, or you're a journalist, or you're a singer. Or one person said, you're a singer? Could I come around and record my music? And said, babe, I'm just a podcaster that has microphone that is standing here for the longest of time. I don't know, but she's one of the persons that spurred me into coming back. She's not that friend I told you that asked me to go back, but she was always, she would come in and then she'd look at my microphone, and talk about it. So I actually am glad you're here now. I'm doing the talking more than you. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So you were saying something before we share any story coming from you, because we love that you're here. We want to hear the story you've got, but you had something. You said you're passionate about something, and I really think the world should hear about it.
Okay, so I'm passionate about rape and sexual abuse, about the victims, because when I was a child, like when I was way younger, I was molested for more than a year by a classmate. And I don't know why, because it's not, okay, this guy he's a boy and obviously he's stronger than me, but I think it was because of the kind of environment I had at home. I was just very silenced and I was stifled and I was made very small. So I just didn't speak up for myself. The only person that knew what I was going through at that point was one of my classmates. And then she kept trying to talk to the boy for me. And then at some point, I don't know, I started shouting at the boy. And then one time I quarreled with the boy. And I think that was the end of it. Like somehow I just found the strength to speak up. So what I found interesting about that situation was the fact that as a young child surrounded by adults, because when I was really younger, our house was never empty. It's even now that I'm older that we barely have relatives around, but as at that time we had a lot of people from my dad's side, people from my mom's side. The house was always full, but somehow I never opened my mouth to say anything about it. I even totally forgot it, but the body keeps the score. Like your body, like even if you force yourself to forget, the body that it happened to will always remind you that this particular thing happened. And I think that's what trauma is. So I remember when I was doing a degree at UNN that I ended up not completing, but that time, that was when I encountered Chimamanda in her full glory. I knew her before. I used to read her books, but I encountered her in her full glory, like the whole feminist things. I watched her 2 TED Talks, I watched her other talks, I read the Feminist Manifesto, and then I don't know, for some reason I started to recall the things that happened that time to me. And then when these memories came back in full force, I started reliving that whole experience again. But one thing that struck me was when I was like done with it, and at that time someone had almost molested me where I went to do something, and this person is like someone that's known to my mom. And we were outside, so I didn't want to scream. I just held myself and I went home and told my mom. So the thing that made me like tell her what happened when I was a child was that she was now against me. She was telling me that it's a lie, I'm lying, that person can never do such. And I'm like, I'm your daughter, believe me. And she refused. And then I now told her the story of what happened to me when I was a child. Until today, this woman thinks I am lying.
You know, this is a thing. So when I was still on radio, sorry, I'm cutting you short. First, I'm really sorry this happened to you. I'm really, really sorry. And it's sad. I don't know about other climes, but I think in Nigeria, it's a thing. I think some of our parents are so scared of accepting this reality because they just do not know how to handle it. And I also heard that most of these people, or some of our parents, went through the same thing, suppressed it, and now they don't know how to handle it because it reminds them of the past. I don't know why this happens in Nigeria. So if you can hear this and you're a parent, or even if you're not, I think we can do better. I think we should do better because this is crazy. There are so many people who are not saying anything. When they say something. They're not saying anything because they are scared of what their parents would say. You would be shocked at people who are being molested by their parents, one of their parents, and they can't. How do you face mommy and tell mommy that daddy's molested? I just felt like I should say this out because on radio I would always ask questions. I would always tell them why, and they're like, our parents. I don't know. My mother will not believe me. My mom will hit me if I say blah, 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 and all that, and it's crazy, really, really crazy.
Okay, so my mom refused to believe me, and so I'm lucky because I have a godmother. She's my mom's younger sister, my mom's only sister. She's like my backbone. So I already told her, and then she just tried to be there for me and make me calm down and all that. Obviously, it's not an experience I can throw away.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it not affect my life. But despite how much I want to heal from it, most times my body doesn't feel like my body. It feels like this body I have, it's like a cage. I have dreams when I'm being raped by someone, and in those dreams I never fight for myself. I'm just there's this fear as if you're about to lose your life that paralyzes you. You just be there, you're just too scared to breathe, to move, to even scream. Many times in that dream my voice can't even get out of my throat.
Wow.
Or if I'm outside and I'm walking alone, I always feel like maybe a guy is going to group me or something. I don't know why. That's my head. That's why if I'm walking alone, if you watch me, if I'm walking alone most times, on a busy road, on a road where anything is possible, I usually fold my hands or use something and cover myself, or I'll shift. My mind will just be going that way. But bringing it down to the thing about providing a rape and sexual abuse resource center is that sexual abuse is very common and it's ever present in our society. Sexual intimidation also. I remember when I was trying to get help for a friend that was an addict from one lecturer that claimed to be a therapist for such things. The man was asking me out, and it was not a normal asking out. You could tell that he was trying to use the help he was going to give my friend to intimidate me, and that was really, really crazy to me. And I just told the man, no, I won't do it. So all these things happen, and it makes you realize that the rights of women are not being protected enough. When it comes to sexual abuse, when it comes to rape, why would somebody have to scream so many times to be heard? And then even when you're heard, you're still being blamed for the thing that happened to you. I believe that it's enough trying to prosecute only the rapist. Okay, the rape has happened. You've caught the rapist. You've sent this rapist to jail. Face the victim. Help the victim. Can you imagine what is going on in the head of someone that has been raped by another person? Reliving that experience continuously with the whole violence that comes with it. It's not even funny. I think that women and even guys that go through it from other guys, I think women and guys that go through sexual abuse and rape should be protected and they should be well taken care of. It's not enough to take this person to the hospital, get the person cleaned up, get the person treated. You should watch that person, take care of that person, because I know so many people that have come out of a rape experience and they'll promise you that they're healing, they'll promise you they're fine, and the next thing they take their life, they're not alive again. So if I was given the opportunity, if I was really given the opportunity, I feel like it's important to highlight the stories of these victims, survivors, and even family members of survivors, because the fact is that most times we inherit trauma, we inherit grief from our loved ones. When your loved one is going through something difficult or traumatic, you kind of suffer with them. Like, I didn't know it was possible until maybe if a loved one is sad, I will feel sad too. Sometimes if my sisters are crying, I'll end up crying with them too. So imagine the family members of loved ones. Like, imagine telling yourself, I will not cry today. Then you remember that you were outside one time alone, and then somebody just took you and then raped you, did something you didn't want to do. Like, I remember when I was doing my internship, so I had this friend that I knew from secondary school, so she ended up being my co-intern. One morning she came into work. She's usually very touchy and like jovial with me, like she's just close to me. So that particular day we were talking, but I sort of noticed that she was not all right, but I didn't want to badger her so much to open up. So we were the earliest there that day, so we now left, just decided to stroll around the premises. So she now started crying. Then she now told me that the taxi she entered that day, she sat next to a man that was putting his hand inside her skirt.
For real?
I'm telling you, Jesus, I cried that day.
Wow.
I was so violated. I was like, Jesus, and she was crying. I was like, why didn't you slap him? She was like, I couldn't do anything. I was so scared. I kept telling the man to stop, that the man refused. That until the man got down, he could not stop. He refused to stop. And I remember feeling so violated, so pain. Like, I felt like I could be dead. And I remember those dreams I used to have. I've not had them in a while. But if I'm being raped in a dream, I cannot fight. Like, I'll just be there with this heavy fear, like, fear that feels so heavy. It feels like hot water is being poured down your system, like your lungs, like you cannot even breathe, like you're just there. And I could relate. And why are we not taking care of people? Why are we not taking care of our women? Why are we not taking care of vulnerable people in society? Why are we not taking care of guys that could be intimidated by people? And I know that most of these people that carry out these things have been hurt by others. But why didn't you stop the trauma before you made a traumatized person affect another innocent person?
The question, sorry, I'm cutting you. First of all, I think a lot of people still don't, if you've not gone through this abuse and you're not the kind of person who is normally empathetic, you will not believe some of these stories. Just like you talked about the lady who was in a taxi and a man was slipping his hand under her skirt. Someone would say, and she was sitting there watching. Well, I just want to tell people who would doubt it that my colleague at work, this is happening 2022. She came back. She was going from from our workplace to where her husband stays. So she was coming back actually. So she was on a bus, it was in the morning, and the guy beside her was touching her. She said at first she thought it was just because they were all, closely seated and all of that. So she felt like, this person is just rubbing off hand. So she looked and noticed that this guy was not just touching her. He was putting his, we need to say these things. He was putting his hand in his own trouser on inside, yes, and he was touching his penis. I hope kids will not listen to this because this is a bit traumatizing. So whatever he was doing, perhaps he was masturbating. I should say it all out. He was masturbating and touching my friend, my colleague. And she said she did not notice that. But when it happened, and she looked at it, what's this guy doing? So they're so close now, and when he's doing it, nobody will get to, figure out what's happening. And she told him, if you don't take your hands off me right now, we're going to step down. You tell everybody what's happening. That's how the guy stopped. It's not like he fully stopped, but then at least he let go of her. I have some of my colleagues who were there when she was saying it, and the thing is, some of these stories, some people think it is unbelievable. Somebody listening and be like, where did it happen? How did it happen? How did it happens? It happens. And then the second reason why I think this whole nobody wants to help the victim is, babe, I think if we sit down carefully and people are very honest with you, a lot of people have been abused. More than even people you will swear. Do you understand? So the thing is this: people are not everybody's brave. That's the truth. Whether we believe it or not everybody's brave to come out and say, okay, this is how we're going to handle it. How do I handle what I don't know. So it takes brave people to come out. That's why I'm like, okay, you mentioned this, so let's talk about it in this podcast. I'm sure there are other people who are also nursing this idea, who would want to help rape victims. It's beautiful because not everybody is brave. People are scared. People self don't even want to help because they don't want people to know it's the secret of their life. I don't think there's ever an explanation for what a rape victim passes through or a sexually molested person. See, things happened to me recently that not even sexually related, right? They're not sexual related. But I still deal on that trauma. Like PTS, I don't know how to explain it. Someone legit walks you out of their house. It happened to me recently. Someone asked me out of their house, someone I'm close with, asked me out of their house. I'm still traumatized. Like I think of it, like I see some things and then I remember that same thing. So imagine somebody who, what they have and what they hold dear, you take it away from them forcefully. Imagine how they'd feel. I'm glad you're saying something about wanting to start a group or something, a volunteer. She said a resource center. So do you have mapped out plans? Because someone might be listening and they might want to, collaborate with you.
So yeah, I have mapped out plans to an extent. So first of all, I believe that the usual medical aspect of taking care of a rape victim. Then I also think it's most important to give that person an opportunity to be heard and heard fully. Like if this person is telling you their experience, don't try to qualify it in terms of your own experience and be like, are you sure? Or what were you doing? No, give the person the opportunity to speak. And then I also believe that because most of these people that carry out these acts of rape are powerful people in the society. I'm studying law. I believe that if I was given the opportunity, I would gladly put many of these people in jail with the last drop of my blood. I'm willing to fight. I've always had this dream to actually be a sort of a warrior lawyer for people in the society. I remember when I was in year 1, after waiting to get law for a long time, I told my cousin asked me, so what area of law do you want to go to? I told him I'm interested in criminal law and I want to do this one. I want to help people that are needy, people that can't afford it and all that. And then my cousin told me it's not a viable dream, you don't have any financial backup and all that and all that. And even if that advice kind of derailed me a bit, because when I started doing internships, I focused more on civil litigation. It's still at the back of my mind. But for this rape resource center, most importantly, I believe that 1, they should be taken care of medically. 2, they should be listened to. 3, we should make psychologists available to these people, because it's one thing to tell your story, and then it's another thing to try to unpack the damage that has happened to you. And personally, I didn't study psychology. I can't help you to identify how bad your life has been fucked up. But if you had the opportunity to talk to a psychologist without having to pay money, if this person was just brought to you, maybe a sponsor was brought to you, maybe out of the goodness of their own hearts, okay, I'll set out today to talk to these rape victims, like from this organization that are bringing them, and then give you the opportunity to unpack what has happened to you. I think it will go a long way to heal our society, so that if this thing, like if I'm well taken care of, if my trauma is being unpacked, if I should see it happening to someone, I will not hesitate to open my mouth and speak up for that person. And it makes the world better, one person at a time. So that maybe some years down the line, we can say that this problem is close to being eradicated, because the fact that our stance as a society has not changed on this matter of rape is what is making it to be the way it is. It has been the same from the beginning to the end. Like from the early days, we have the issue of marital rape, we have the issue of workplace rape, and then we have the one of being raped by a stranger. And the victim's voices are still not being amplified. It's usually the rapist's word over the rape victim's word. It shouldn't be this way. If we help some of these people that are going through these things today, I feel like when they heal, they'll be able to help victims that come after them, because it's a crime and evil never sleeps and evil will never stop. But if we form a way of curtailing all these issues that arise from these things, I feel like it will make these things better for people. And then you can even teach your children, if somebody is coming close to you in this way, you better be careful. Because so if my mom had told me, you should be careful, if someone is doing this to you, you should turn and shout, your body is your body. Most importantly, tell me my body is my body. I would have been mindful of it. I would have probably spoken up very fast. Because I remember my cousin, when she was 5 years old, she had a classmate in school. So one day her teacher called her mom to school, and her mom went and they were like, what's happening? And then the teacher told my cousin's mom that my cousin slapped her classmates. So my auntie came back and then asked her daughter, why did you slap your classmate? And then she was like, he followed me into the toilet and he wanted to enter the toilet with me. And then was like, problem solved. And she went to school the next day and then told the teacher, this is what happened though. And then my cousin was let off the hook. But the thing that stood out to me was that at such a young age, she knew how to fight for herself. She knew that she would not take this person's bullshit. Many children that are raised to be timid in households where they are being silenced, where they are being caged, where they are being beaten down, like constantly being abused both physically and verbally. If it was me, I know if it was me at her age, I'd have probably kept quiet. I would have been so scared. I would have been like, what is happening? What's happening? But I won't fight for myself. But my cousin slapped this boy to the point where he had to go crying to the teacher and he could not do anything to her again. So I feel like all these things are just important. Help someone to help another person, to help another person, to help another person. Because whether we like it or not, rape has created a very strong chain of generational trauma in our society. Whether I want to believe it or we don't want to believe it, rape has messed up our society in a way that only comes up when these things happen. And then we remember that many of our mothers have even experienced it in the hands of their husbands, in the hands of their brothers, in the hands of their fathers, and that's why we're still here today. So that's my 2 cents on this topic of rape.
I think this is a lot of dollars right now. It's a lot already. So we're 20 minutes gone. So I don't know. Could you still tell your story, just in case? I feel this is already a story on its own. What we just did right now. I believe the fact that you're ready to move on, the fact that you want to help people not to go through the same path as you did, as painful as it was. I think that's where the whole my life continues every day, strikes a chord for me in your own life. Do you understand? No matter what happened to me, I'm ready to keep moving on and I will make it better. And I just wanted to say, because I know counseling therapy is expensive. I've heard it's really expensive. But if you can too, if it's something you think you want to do, I don't know if you think you need it. I think you should if you can, because
by the time I can afford it, I will not hesitate. 3 days a week, I will go and see my therapist. I will not miss it. I know it's something that I really need to do for myself, to grow as a person. Even before I get married, before I become a mother, I need to heal so that I can just start on a fresh slate, like a fresh lease on life, and be a better person generally, because it's holding me back. Whether I can see it or not, it's held me back for so long, and it's just taking me this long to realize the small ways it's holding me back. Just imagine these small ways I'm seeing now. Imagine how much of my life has been controlled by it if it's just the small ones I'm seeing. Imagine the bigger ones that are just holding me back, dragging me back. So if I'm able to afford it, that's something I'll definitely do for myself.
You're definitely going to afford it by God's grace. You're a smart lady and you're beautiful too, because I'm here with you and I can see you. So yeah, you are. You're beautiful and then you're kind. So I'm saying this because, babe, you are a tall glass of chocolate. Yeah, you gotta let it all out. You've got it flaunted. So I want you to get to the point where you walk and you are moving with the grace and glory in you, because I see it and it shines and God's got you. So yeah, I hope we get to the point where you are, well enough to, let go. And I wish you the best. Do you still want to tell a story right now?
I would just like to close by saying that parents, just procreating is not the only thing that makes you a parent. Procreating, feeding that child, clothing that child, and disciplining that child is like 1% of what it takes to be a parent. Parenting is a very delicate job, and the only thing that can make you be called a good parent is when you do everything from a place of love for your child. Don't worry about what people will say. Worry about what this child will be when you're not there, when you're there. Out of love for your child, you should teach your child to speak up. You should always remind your child that the body he or she has belongs to them and them alone, not for anybody to share. If you want anybody to touch you, it should only be by your consent. And then don't, especially your girl children, don't raise polite girls, no. Don't raise girls that are just learned to hide behind the hems of their skirts, to have no attitude, to have no audacity. Like, we see where it's keeping us as a society. I think it's important to teach girls to have a mind of their own, to have all the audacity they can have in this world, and most importantly, to not allow anybody to control them. That is very, very necessary. Because I know, even though it's not only girls that are being raped and sexually abused, it's mostly girls. We can't lie, because of the woman's position in the society. The woman is usually susceptible to being abused. Guys are being abused, but then, like I said, teach your children, both boys and girls, that their body is their body. And if anybody's touching your body, scream, fight the person, call for help. It's very important. Don't stifle your children's personalities. Allow your children to grow and become what they will become. If you don't like it, you can live with it. If you don't want to live with it, maybe you can go and shoot yourself, or you pursue the child from the house.
Okay, now she's really being violent. Nobody should shoot themselves. So thank you so much. Thing is, I think one day I'm going to invite a guy. I don't know. It's not. This was not what we planned for, right? We're going to say something else.
Exam.
We're going to talk about an exam, which I don't know if we should still talk about, but we could still. Okay. All right. She said a story. It's a work in progress. So okay. So she was going to talk about some examination. Just give us a summary of what the thing is. Just so that maybe.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about like my exam and how I've noticed that if I have the mind and the faith to pray for something, it usually happens. But then when I'm being small-minded in my requests, God grants it, but then it just feels like, hey, this is what you asked for, so you have it. Because normally I would usually pray, okay, God, I just don't want to fail this course. But then this year, I told myself that this is the year to go for bigger things. Mm-hmm. So when I was praying, something was saying, just pray that you fail this course. But then I said, God, no, I want the best that I can get. Like, I want the best that you can give me as my God. I want the best. I did not say B, I did not say C, I did not say E. I did not say, even if it's a 0 credit load, I said, God, I just want the best. And then I got it. And even if it's a 0 credit load, I'm happy that I got an A. It's a sign.
Look at you. That's it.
It's a sign that I should be bold enough to ask God for more, because God is willing to do it for me. I mean, what is this exam of a thing that He cannot just arrange and sort out for me? So it just taught me that I should have the audacity to ask for what is really in my heart, instead of confining myself to what I feel like other people will ask for, or what I will not be seen as greedy when I ask for it. So yeah, I've just learned to ask God for more, and then I'm happy that I got A in my GS, even if it's a 0 credit load. But I got an A in it, and I'm not writing it. So thank Jesus. My life continues every day. Yes, most importantly, my life continues every day.
So this just reminded me of the whole audacity, right? Like trusting God and stuff with reckless abandon. Yesterday I was supposed to go for a wedding. Let me gist you people. I will say it. My life continues every day. I am living on a budget. Yes, I said it finally. Yes, I am living on a budget, and so this wedding. I don't know. So you know how you just know that you should be at a certain place. I wanted to go for this wedding. This was my classmate, right? We're not so close, but after school, she was always supportive of my posts. Anything I'm doing, Amanda Elo, she's always wanting to support. So she sent me an invitation. An invitation to her wedding last year. And from what I saw, I don't think it was for everybody. She didn't send it personally to everybody. I feel so, because that's it, yeah? So I told myself, okay, I'll try and see if I can go. But then, guys, see, it's the truth. Financially, I wasn't ready yesterday. I was just not ready. And I said, God, I don't know. I just don't want it to seem like I'm always asking and not giving. Apart from that, I want us to start on a good note this year. I want to do things I'll be able to. I want things I want to do. I want to be able to do the things I want to do. So I stayed on this bed, and something was telling me, go and use some of the last things you kept for yourself and go for this wedding. And another one said, you hunger will finish. You know how it is for you all the time now. If you decide to be this strong-headed, hunger will finish you and all that things. And then I just said, God, see, my clothes is wrong. I was just looking for an excuse to just, let go and all of that, I just put this song by Adaehi, Cheta, because that's my go-to song. That song and what's her name? What's her name again? I've forgotten that gospel singer's name. The one that sang Judy K. Yeah, Judy K is capable God. It's been happening since 2020. Like, something just comes to my head, and I think this is so difficult for me. I play either Cheta by Ada, or I play Capable God by Judy K. So I played Cheta. It was playing on like nothing. I said, like, God, there's no battery. My phone is like 9%, and my clothes is quite rumpled. So if I don't see light to solve these two problems, then I know it's a sign that I should not even make the mistake. Guys, was it up to like 15, 20 minutes, they brought the light though. That was like the first sign. I said, okay. Oh. So I pressed my cloth, charged my phone, and I was stepping out. It's not like I didn't have money. The point is that money it was mapped out for something else. So I stepped out when she was very happy to see me. So some of my classmates came around too, and we're talking, and they were like, I don't share just big miracles here, right? I share it the way it is. This is my story as it is. So they told me, babe, they will provide cars for people to go to, because the wedding was supposed to happen in Oka and then the reception in another place. That's her own. She was supposed to do traditional marriage stroke reception. It's quite far. My TFF for no carry me rich. I would not have gotten there on my own. But then let me just summarize it. A car, I entered better car with AC, took me there and brought me back. And I still had enough change. It's not like I didn't spend, but I didn't spend as much as I would have. I'm just saying, this might not sound big to you, but it was a sign, just like she said, it was a sign of, greater things to come. It's been happening to me. It's been happening because so much, I already told you in the first episode, so much has happened, so much has been happening, but God has been coming through for me. I know what I'm saying. He's been coming through big time. Don't see it as this girl is always talking about financial talks. I have to talk about the things happening in my life, and trust me, when I have enough money, I will tell you people too. Don't worry, it's coming. So this is what happened to me, and I trusted God. I don't know what you believe in, but if you believe in God, I'm telling you, this is the time to let him do what he wants to do, and tell him to do these things for you. Do not be scared. Just let him. If he doesn't do it, then it's not in his will, and it's fine. It's the best for all of us. So just with reckless abandon. Yes, with reckless abandon. Leave it to him. Okay? Happened for my friend here. Happened for me. I'm sure it has happened for a lot of other persons listening. If you check it very well, God has been good. I think he's been so good to me. So let me not over talk it, but you understand whatever I'm saying. So just make sure that this year, if it becomes too tough, don't even wait for it to be too tough. Just tell him, I am giving it to you. And just like my friend said, the best that can come from you. That's like nice. Like, don't limit him. Let him do it. If he doesn't give you more than you want or like you want, then it's not what he wants. So just let it go. I think it's always the best. So that said, baby girl, you are like the first guest on my show for the second season. What gift am I supposed to give you?
I don't know.
Me that said I don't have teeth as I yesterday. God will definitely provide. But I'm so happy you did this for me. Thank you so much.
I'm also happy I did this. I didn't expect to actually open up. I didn't know I was even going to talk about
it. I know, and I'm so happy.
But then I'm grateful because it's making me reassess where I'm at in my life. Because at this point, I'm actually pursuing a career in corporate law. But I don't know. I don't even know what it's going to end up being. Because I'm telling myself after school next year, for the 1 year I'm waiting for law school, I'm going to pursue just core company law internship. That's corporate law, just straight, because that's what I want to do. That just makes the job easier. But I don't know if I'm really called to do this thing of activism for people, like this whole legal aid. I don't know what it's going to look like, but for this Rape Resource Center, I think I'm just going to start with a blog and then invite people to share their stories. I said a blog, but I was not consistent because I didn't have a laptop, so it just kind of dimmed my energy. But I've gotten a good phone, so my mom said she's going to get a laptop this year, so I'll just keep working on it. I don't know, my life has always been just vibes and grace. I'm telling you, most times I don't know where I'm going to go, but I always end up in a good place.
That's
like
good.
Trusting God has always gone well for me. I don't know about other people, but I know that even when I'm not thinking about it, God is always thinking about it for me. So I'm happy I did this, and I'm grateful that at least I'm anonymous, because I don't know how I'll feel just sharing this thing to people generally. But then it's giving me like, it has sort of opened a place in my mind where I'm asking myself, do I really want to go down the path I want to go, or should I face this thing of activism, working with FIDA and all that? I don't know. But then it has set the thoughts in process, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you. I'm so glad she found her purpose on my podcast. I'm just saying, even if it's not clear yet, I think this is now something you should start the new year with, talking to God and asking him, what do you want from me in this area? Could be it. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I just have someone discover their purpose. You know it. Okay, so you, wherever you are, feel free to share your story wherever you are. I had a live guest today, could have another one tomorrow, but I still am taking guests from, I mean, you could tell your stories. Let me not call you a guest so it doesn't sound like one professional farmer or something. So wherever you are, feel free to share your story. All right. We tell good stories here. We tell happy stories too. You heard the part where she passed her exams and all of that. So happy stories coming here. Sad ones too. Vent, rant, talk. Just know that in the end, your life, my friend's life continues every day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Do not forget to follow. I was going to sound like Mike. Yeah, you can check me out on my social media page. Oh my god, I was going to say share your social media page, but that's not. That's, you have to be anonymous, because I mean some people might want to, but if you want to collaborate with her, reach out to me. Let me know why. Right? My name on Facebook and Instagram is Charlie Mandy. CharleyMandy. Charlie Mandy. Or you can look for Amanda Eloma Ubuago. Amanda Elu. You just find me. Talk to me about this particular guest, right? We'll talk, and then if I see you're serious enough, then I'd see how the both of you or you all could collaborate. Just feel free. All right. I love you all. To my MLC tribe, to you people who are always wanting for this podcast to be the best. Thank you so much. Do not forget to share with your friends. On Anchor, you can leave me a message just in case you want to leave me a message. So go ahead and leave me a message. It's been an amazing one with you, and I'm still saying Happy New Year. If you hear this even in December, Happy New Year. If you hear it in March, Happy New Year. But this was done in January 2023. So Happy New Year to you wherever you are. God bless you, and may His angels protect you. I love you.
I'm living a good life, no stress and no strife. Every day I keep moving up, Monday to Sunday, steady balling. If I'm a cannabis, one nature, one I am a winner.